Wrapped up that massive campaign just about an hour ago. Prime Minister Modi vowed to uproot the Stalin government from the state. This was, by the way, a big NDA show of strength. So right next to Prime Minister Modi, you had Edappadi Palaniswamy, and there were images of the bonhomie between Prime Minister Modi and EPS that was evident. Then you had TTV Dinakaran. For the very first time on the same stage as EPS, they were, of course, on either side of the Prime Minister. So we didn't really see any personal interaction between the two leaders. Then PMK's Anbumani Ramados was there. You had GK Vasan as well. So all of these leaders, part of a larger NDA rising, coming together for this mega rally with the Prime Minister. But let's put the focus on what Prime Minister Modi has said. Here are some of the highlights of how he attacked the Stalin government.
Friends, आपने DMK को 2 बार क्लियर मैंडेट दिया, लेकिन इन्होंने तमिलनाडु की जनता का भरोसा तोड़ा। डीएमके ने वादे ढेर सारे किए, लेकिन काम 0 रहा। डीएमके सरकार को अब लोग सीएमसी सरकार कह रहे हैं। सीएमसी सरकार यानी करप्शन, माफिया और क्राइम को बढ़ावा देने वाली सरकार। तमिलनाडु की जनता अब डीएमके और सीएमसी दोनों को उखाड़ फेंकने का मन बना चुकी है। यहां बीजेपी एनडीए की डबल इंजन सरकार बनना तय है। आज तमिलनाडु में एक ऐसी सरकार है जिसे डेमोक्रेसी यार अकाउंटेबिलिटी से कोई लेना देना ही नहीं है। डीएमके सरकार सिर्फ एक परिवार की जी हजूरी में ही लगी हुई है। अगर किसी को डीएमके में आगे बढ़ना है तो उसके पास सिर्फ 3 या 4 रूट हैं। डायनेस्टी रूट, करप्शन रूट, एब्यूज विमेन रूट, एब्यूज अवर कल्चर रूट। और यही कारण है कि आज डीएमके में वही लोग आगे बढ़ रहे हैं जिनको इस प्रकार के काम आते हैं। इसका नुकसान पूरे तमिलनाडु को हो रहा है। तमिलनाडु का बच्चा बच्चा जानता है कि कहां कहां कितना करप्शन हो रहा है और करप्शन की ये कमाई किसकी जेब में जा रही है।
So those were highlights of the Prime Minister in Tamil Nadu. Let's switch over to Kerala, because the larger question we're asking here is about the BJP's chances in a Tamil Nadu or a Kerala. And before we really discuss that, here's a report on what played out earlier today when the Prime Minister was in Thiruvananthapuram.
Respectful greetings and a warm welcome to the Honorable Prime Minister.
It went from warm greetings
एलडीएफ और यूडीएफ के लोगों ने केरला को करप्शन, कुशासन और अपीजमेंट की खतरनाक राजनीति में झोंक दिया है।
to scathing attacks in a matter of minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was in pole-bound Kerala on Friday to inaugurate development projects and flag off 4 new trains. Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan received Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the Thiruvananthapuram airport. Later, the Prime Minister and Chief Minister shared the stage where the Prime Minister inaugurated the projects. After the official engagements got over, Prime Minister Modi held a roadshow which saw thousands of BJP supporters line up to greet him. At the public meeting that followed, Modi switched to his avatar of BJP campaigner. He took on both the ruling LDF and UDF. Prime Minister raised corruption charges against the left.
इनका एजेंडा एक ही है, झंडा अलग है, एजेंडा एक है। फुल करप्शन, जीरो अकाउंटेबिलिटी, फुल कम्युनलिज्म, जीरो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी।
He promised action against those who stole Sabrimala gold if the NDA comes to power.
एलडीएफ सरकार ने सबरीमला मंदिर की परंपराओं को नुकसान पहुंचाने में कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ी है। यहां बीजेपी सरकार बनते ही आरोपों की पूरी जांच होगी और दोषियों की जगह जेल में होगी।
Modi asserted that the upcoming assembly polls are about Kerala's future.
आने वाले चुनाव केरला की दशा और दिशा को बदलने का चुनाव है।
And ended his speech with these words.
यही समय है, सही समय है। Now is the time for Viksit Keralam. Now is the right time for NDA government. आइए बीजेपी के साथ केरला में विकास के नए युग की शुरुआत करें।
The Congress has hit back at the Prime Minister.
We welcome the Prime Minister of India to Kerala. Kerala is a very hospitable state. Each one of you all are welcome. We will give him good food. But one thing he should remember is that BJP will never come to power there. He can go back the same way as he has come.
Prime Minister has sounded the poll bugle in Kerala. The NDA is confident of improving the tally after its big win in the Thiruvananthapuram Corporation polls. Vishivi Molkeji in Thiruvananthapuram, Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, let me open this up to our panel. Joining us this evening, we've got Srinivas Reddy Kumbam, spokesperson of the Congress, Tuhin Sinha, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Salem Dharanidharan, spokesperson of the Dravidian Munnetra Kazhagam, and Shekhar Iyer, senior journalist. Thank you all very much for your time. Good evening, or should I say namaskaram, vanakkam to all of you on this conversation. Shekhar Iyer, I'd like to begin with you. You had the Prime Minister leading this massive campaign both in Kerala and Tamil Nadu. But do you think the BJP actually stands a chance in these southern states? Two states that the BJP so far has struggled to actually breach.
Okay, I mean, the best scenario that the BJP is probably looking at in Kerala and Tamil Nadu is like this. In Kerala, they hope to see that left does not, do a hat trick. I mean, again, come back to power for a third term. And the UDF is not in a very comfortable position because of narrow margin, and they themselves are able to open a decent number in the Kerala Assembly. As far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, the BJP has been working behind the scenes to get all these leaders to come on a platform. That itself was a very big achievement, considering the animosity between TTV Dinakaran and Edappadi Palaniswamy. And one thing you would have noticed today at the Madrantakam rally is TTV Dinakaran openly, gave his support to Edappadi Palaniswamy, saying that they have forgotten their past differences because they want to get Tamil Nadu rid of the DMK rule. That's a big message to the AIDMK cadres who have been upset that their two leaders have been on a war path. So that's the kind of message that the BJP is working, and this effort of the Prime Minister would be largely to unite the anti-DMK votes, which these other parties are bringing, like the presence of Anbavadi Ramdas is also interesting, though Patali Makkal Katchi has been having a mega father-son fight. But overall picture in terms of BJP's long-term strategy for both the states is that if they can ensure that DMK does not come back to power, is short of numbers,
Yeah.
BJP will consider it a big achievement. Similarly, in Kerala, even if the Congress were to come back, but if it is reduced margin, that would see a lot of instability given narrow margins by which candidates win in Kerala.
Okay, so interesting analysis there. I think you've summed it up as far as both Kerala and Tamil Nadu are concerned. Let me bring in the Congress first on this broadcast. Srinivas Reddy, looking at the Prime Minister's speech in Kerala particularly, many would suggest, experts too would suggest that the BJP perhaps is on the rise in Kerala. Is there a cause of concern for the Congress, which is looking ideally to come back to power in a state like Kerala in a few months?
Seeing Prime Minister's Modi's speech today, I would feel that BJP is probably dreaming of coming into power in Kerala, because Kerala and in entire South India, if we are taking, we can see that South India here the elections are mostly based on local issues. Then personality-based politics happens here. Regional-based politics happens here, and it's mostly the regional parties which are strong here. In some states, likewise in Kerala, I mean Karnataka and Telangana, we have the Congress in power. In Andhra, if we see, it's only BJP is only an alliance partner over there with about eight seats over there, but they claim that they are in power. Similarly, they are probably thinking that in Kerala they might come to power. They have one MP seat over there, and they have one mayor who has won just recently. And probably it's a good try for them, but definitely I don't think it is a possible scenario there.
Tuhin Sinha, your response,
And,
is this merely a pipe dream then for the BJP to be able to conquer a Kerala or a Tamil Nadu?
Well, good evening. Good evening, everybody. First of all, very happy Saraswati Puja to all. Well, certainly in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, BJP is going to come up with its best performance till date. And for Congress to, say that we are dreaming of coming to power, Congress should worry about its existence because, even across the country, Congress seems to be facing an existential crisis, including at the local body. Now, when it comes to Kerala, we are facing a duopoly which has ruined the state in every possible way. Corruption is at an all-time high, but more than corruption, it is the radicalization which both of these groups have encouraged over the last 2 decades. Congress has an open alliance with the Jamaat. When we question them over the alliance and Jamaat, rooting for an Islamic state, they have no answers. Khalid Mashal, held a conference in Kunur barely 2 weeks after the Israel attack. Not one Congress leader, not one CPIM leader had the courage to attack that. So that is the reality of Kerala. When it comes to Tamil Nadu, obviously corruption is at an all-time high. The anti-incumbency factor is going to, play in a very big way in Tamil Nadu. And we are cobbling up an alliance which will hit at that anti-incumbency factor, which will make sure that the DMK crumbles at the right moment.
Dharanidharan, in your opening comments on what the Prime Minister said today in Tamil Nadu, Tuhin Sinha also suggesting that, look, this is an alliance that's going to win in Tamil Nadu, that there is a great deal of anti-incumbency. And the Prime Minister in his speech put the focus largely on corruption, on misrule, saying that, law and order has gone to the dogs. He's talking about a drug issue, all of that in Tamil Nadu.
No, whatever the Prime Minister may say, the facts will have to be discussed based on the fact, based on data. Even the NCRB data says Tamil Nadu is the safest state in India for women. All the crime rates in comparison to 2016 to 2021, in Tamil Nadu has improved. It has improved drastically. Also, if you look at the top 10 safest states in India, for all metrics, Tamil Nadu ranks in the top 5 or 6. It's only the BJP rule states that are on the bottom 5, the worst states for law and order. That is the fact which Prime Minister should acknowledge. People in Tamil Nadu have cell phones, they can go on Google. Now there is Grok, now there is Chat GPT, and also Google, where people can get to the official documents and know the truth. So Prime Minister should know if there is corruption, right? Why isn't the central agencies not able to prove any corruption against the DMK members?
But central agencies have flagged it. Dharanidharan, central agencies, the ED has repeatedly flagged it, asking for investigation.
I don't. Where is the conviction? ED's conviction rate is 0.01%. So there is ED, CBI, income tax. If at all someone has made corruption, then there has to be a proof, and then the proof will have to be taken into consideration in the court, and court will have to give a verdict. As of now, all my ministers on whom accusation was casted are acquitted. That is point number one. Point number two, Tamil Nadu ranks better than all BJP ruled states in socio-economic metrics. Our CM has launched number of schemes that serves an example not just to India but to the world. For example, morning breakfast scheme. After Tamil Nadu, UK and Canada launched the same scheme.
Okay.
Pudumai pen system, 1,000 rupees to government school girls going to
No,
college.
point taken. Tuhin Sinha, ultimately the DMK's contention is this, that Tamil Nadu is one of the best performing states. Look at any metric you want, and they constantly refer to this as the Dravidian model. So will this narrative that, there's misrule in Tamil Nadu actually work on the ground? Tuhin, can you unmute yourself, please?
The BJP right now does not have a presence in any of the southern states, so they can claim the best among the mediocre non-BJP states. The fact is they have not been able to even implement the PM Shri scheme, which is part of the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan of the center, despite committing to it. There was a liquor tragedy 1.5 years back in broad daylight that killed 58 people. Obviously, their local leaders have been minting money through liquor tragedies. Their attack on judiciary, they wanted to, or perhaps they still want to impeach the judge who passed the judgment in favor of the Deepathun lighting. This is the reality of the DMK. They may claim they are better among the non-performing opposition ruled states, but that is not the parameter. You compare it with one of any of the BJP ruled states, be it Maharashtra or Uttar Pradesh, and fact is that Tamil Nadu government has done nothing but stalled important development projects. And
no, but are you suggesting that in Uttar Pradesh, like a state like Uttar Pradesh's economy is better than that of Tamil Nadu's?
If you have to compare it from 2017, the journey of Uttar Pradesh, the transformation, the metamorphosis from a Bimaru state into one of the states which is getting maximum investment, Tamil Nadu was always ahead in many of the parameters. On the contrary, there is stagnation since the time DMK government came into power because of their extracurricular activities, their interest in undermining the judiciary, their interest in anti-Hindu activities. Why did they have to impeach the judge who passed the judgment in favor of Deepathun? Can he answer that?
Can I just come in?
Dharanidharan, go ahead.
See, I'm not going to get into all this religion, spirituality. BJP does not have any development to show. They want to bring religion into it. I will only say air pollution in India is the worst. R&D spending in India is the lowest. Sanitation in India ranks 120th or 122 countries. Chinese universities are now ranking in the top 5 when it comes to research citations. Indian universities not nowhere present. Modi has been power for 11 years. These are the questions I wanted to answer. When it comes to Uttar Pradesh, any socio-economic metric, Uttar Pradesh ranks only as good as Sub-Saharan Africa, and Tamil Nadu does as good as Eastern European countries or some of the states in the United States itself, developed countries. This is where we stand. In all metrics, it has only improved. The Tamil Nadu was a revenue surplus state in 2011 when ADMK demitted office. Revenue deficit was minus 66,000 crores, which in a COVID year, my government reduced it by 20,000 crores. And then now the revenue deficit is 30,000 crores. Debt to GDP went from 18% to 30% under Edapadi, BJP partner. The same alliance is going to contest election. That we have reduced to 26%. So what is he talking about?
Okay, so that's data for you, Tuhin.
Tamil Nadu's revenue to GDP reduced by 2 percentage points under Edapadi Palisamy, which means where the money which should have gone to the government got disappeared.
Okay.
After my government,
okay, you've given those numbers, Dharanidharan. Let Tuhin respond. You've given those
No,
numbers.
the point is there is, like I mentioned, given that Tamil Nadu already, was way ahead of Uttar Pradesh 10 years back, there is stagnation. You go by data, I go by your behavior. Why did you stall? The Coimbatore and Madurai rail projects when the center was pushing for it? You provided wrong and fallacious DPRs. That's also a fact. We have a development model which is not impeded by petty politics. You people have only got into a conflict with center on frivolous issues. The story of Tamil Nadu would have been something else otherwise.
Dharanidharan, your response quickly, and then I'll bring in Srinivas Reddy also.
So CAG audit in 2022 and 23 had flagged certain discrepancies during Edapadi Palaniswamy's regime with Minister Velumani, where they said 90% of the smart city tenders were only awarded to one company with links to the minister's brother, And all the tenders were submitted through only one computer IP address, and the number 2 bid was also another same company. Because of this, there was a loss to exchequer of 6,000 crores. Shut case. Why isn't Velumani, any FIR has been filed by the ED
No,
or
no, but
CBI or
Dharanidharan,
income tax?
respond to what the
And why is
BJP
Prime
is
Minister
saying, that
talking about
central
it?
schemes are blocked, that central schemes are blocked in Tamil Nadu.
Even Manrega, when it
Despite of
comes to
central government,
Manrega, which
despite of
existed
central
then.
government, Tamil
Okay,
Nadu is
okay,
doing
let
well.
Dharanidharan finish, Tuhin.
No central scheme is blocked. In fact, Madurai and Coimbatore, the proposed reason they gave it, the population is less than 15 lakhs. But cities, smaller cities like Indore were given metro. Agra was given metro, but not these states. I will give you entire data of non-BJP rule states, not just Tamil Nadu, how the funding has been reduced. In 2014-15, Uttar Pradesh used to get 40,000 central funding, Tamil Nadu 20,000. Now Tamil Nadu gets about 60,000, Uttar Pradesh gets about 2.1 lakh crores, which is about, they get each year 1.6 lakh crores more for central devolution. Tamil Nadu's own tax revenue, right, is 75%. Uttar Pradesh's own tax revenue is only 50%, which means 75% of expenditures met by own revenue, which does not come from the center. That is the fact. So earlier it wasn't the case. So our own revenue has increased. The central transfer has reduced, which means we are doing good administration despite central not allocating the fund. Right. And our growth rate is 11.2% in compared to India's growth rate of 6.7%. India is Tamil Nadu, the fastest growing state in the last 5 years.
Okay.
You compare it to any state, our growth rate is highest, which is the data which is Reserve Bank of India.
Tuhin, your response particularly on what, particularly what Dharanidharan raised on Velumani.
You know, I
So why are
have,
they not
Akshita,
investigating?
I have very clearly specified the data, the cherry picking of data can be misleading. Bihar reported a 14.5% GDP growth rate. For the last 2 years, Bihar has reported in excess of 14% GDP growth rate. So what is he talking? Fact is that a lot of these projects which are encouraged by the center have been stalled. Even, in the last election.
Hold on, let Tuhin finish. No, Dharanidharan, hold on. Yeah.
In the last elections, they promised they would raise the Manrega scheme, which has now been replaced by VBG Ramji bill. They promised they would raise the 100-day work guarantee to 150. Did they do that? They did not do that in the last 5 years. Till we brought the VBG Ramji bill, last month. So they have made a lot of promises. They have not delivered on it because their focus was on some extracurricular activities, particularly undermining the judiciary, particularly undermining the Hindu faith, which we have seen them do time and again.
Dharanidharan, go ahead.
Akshita, I'll have to come in here, okay?
Yeah, please, quickly, and then I have to bring in the other panelists.
For example, in a school exam, right, when your mark is 10 out of 100, you get from 10 to 20, the percentage increase is 100%. Similarly, if you are scoring 90 out of 100, if your mark is 99, your percentage increase is 10%. That is why in the world, developed countries' growth rate is 2%, and underdeveloped countries' growth rate is very high. The fastest growing country in the world is, I think, Congo, 28%, or South Sudan, 28%. So, Tamil Nadu being the developed state in India, still we are maintaining 12% growth rate, twice higher than India as an achievement than an underdeveloped state having a double-digit growth rate. So that is how it works. You look at you compare Norway's growth rate and some sub-Saharan African countries' growth rate.
Okay,
so despite that, it's going faster than underdeveloped states. It's a fact that shows the administrative ability of my chief minister.
Okay.
Manrega, drastically the funding was reduced each year by the union government, despite contrary advice from Nobel laureates such as Abhijit Banerjee, Esther Duflo, so on and so on. I can keep saying. And even this scheme, with the new scheme that they have brought about, is only about state funding. State has to put in a major chunk of money.
I've given both you, Dharanidharan and Tuhin Sinha, a chance to counter each other. Let me bring in Srinivas Reddy also before I wrap this up. Srinivas Reddy, putting the focus really on the Congress's performance right now. Looking at the fact that the Congress in both Kerala and Tamil Nadu is hoping they have a chance, and Tamil Nadu, of course, with the DMK in an alliance. Is the Congress also looking at how the BJP is putting the focus on these two states? For the Congress, ultimately, the South matters the most.
Yes. For the Congress, definitely South matters the most. For BJP, if you are looking at BJP, they have always given stepmotherly treatment to South India. Even now, what they are trying to do, they know that they are not definitely not going to break the southern barrier here. So what they are trying to do is they are trying after the delimitation.
No, but you see the numbers. For example, in Kerala, you see the numbers, sir, they are on the rise.
As our dear friend from DMK has said, that definitely if a person gets 10 marks, definitely if we get 12 marks after 20 marks, it's 100% rise. Their vote share, their vote pattern, whatever is there in South India is a different story altogether. Here, they are trying to, increase the number of parliament, decrease the number of parliament seats, because they definitely know in the next election, they are not going to get anything here. So they are The BJP is trying to increase the number of seats in northern India based on population, based on
And that's a
the
false
Okay.
claim.
delimitation.
Tuhin,
They
quickly, I'll give you a
definitely know
chance to
what is
respond,
going
and
to
then I'll
happen.
bring in
know,
Shekhar
They
Iyer.
know very well what's
Tuhin,
going to
quickly.
happen in South India. They are not definitely not going to come back to power here.
Okay. Okay, Tuhin.
When they start stoking this north versus divide, they don't have any positive agenda. In February 2025, Home Minister Amit Shah has specified that Tamil Nadu and none of the southern states will lose any seat because of delimitation. We are willing to walk that extra mile to ensure that those seats are there the way it is, which would mean that even we are transgressing from the original formula of delimitation. But having said that, if in the past delimitation formula has been based on population, we are willing to even change that to ensure these fears are allayed. But this north versus south divide, which they have stoked repeatedly by attacking Sanatan, by attacking people from other parts of the country, has a limited shelf life. Now people can see through it, and that is why they are so frustrated today, because that is not yielding them
Dharanidharan,
results.
is there fear mongering on the issue of delimitation? We don't know what it's going to look like. Are we jumping the gun on it?
No, Home Minister said the number of seats won't be reduced. I also, the number of seats won't be reduced. The total number of seats would be 888 approximately. But then the proportion of seats would reduce. For example, if Tamil Nadu represents 8% of the parliament, it will reduce to 5.5%. The Delimitation Act in itself says the redrawing of constituencies based on population. And because population in the states have reduced, which means the contribution, proportion of parliamentarians from South India will reduce to 17% from 25% and will increase in handful of North Indian states from 40% to 70%. That is the worry. What we are saying is the Home Minister can come and say proportion of seats won't be reduced. They are not using the word proportion. Again, playing with plain math. That's all the whole point is. They should first freeze delimitation, like how Vajpayee did and Indira Gandhi did, and then have a discussion with the states, and then tell this is what we are going to do. Because delimitation automatically lapses, the constituencies will have to be redrawn based on the population.
Let me just...
Because
Okay, gentlemen, I'm just going to press pause. I'm going to come to you, Tuhin. Give me a moment. I just want to get in a reaction that's coming from Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin to what Prime Minister Modi has said. Clearly, Chief Minister Stalin hitting back, referring to the double engine the Prime Minister Modi spoke out of as Dabba engine. Essentially, there is like an empty engine, if I were to translate that for you. He's saying that won't run in Tamil Nadu. He's saying, despite all the barriers imposed by the BJP, Tamil Nadu has achieved the kind of development that history speaks of by shattering them. And then he's spoken of states like Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar. He says these are the so-called double-engine states. He compares that to Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Telangana, Karnataka, West Bengal, and says that the states where your Dabba engine hasn't entered are the ones soaring high in development. Tuhin Sinha bringing you in on this. A comparison where he's essentially looking at BJP-ruled states saying your double engine doesn't work. This is what the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister says.
Can you just repeat that? There was a slight...
So he's drawn a comparison to him where he says that the double engine in states like Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar are doing nothing. You compare it to the states' development in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Telangana. So he's listed all the states where the BJP is not empowered to say they're doing better.
Suddenly the DMK pretends it is ignorant about history. You have seen, where we took over in 2017 in Uttar Pradesh. What was the condition of Uttar Pradesh then? It was a Bimaru state. There was complete lawlessness. The transformation that Uttar Pradesh has witnessed, the growth in GDP, that is unprecedented. That is the transformation we bring in every state we inherit.
But the argument then will be that in Tamil Nadu, it's always been the Dravidian parties at the fore who've ensured the growth in the state.
The Dravidian parties have presided over the stagnation of the state. The Dravidian parties have presided over the stagnation of the state. Tamil Nadu would have been at another level had BJP been given an opportunity way back, and it will still be at another level if we get an opportunity now. Projects which have been stalled, and I listed some of them, will see the light of the day. That is the crucial difference which we will bring about.
Dharanidharan, your response? That you cannot compare in Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu.
Even now in socio-economic metrics, Uttar Pradesh have not undergone any transformation. It's all the same how it was 10 years back, 15 years back, 20 years back. Even GDP growth rate, they're not doing as well as Tamil Nadu, in spite of being an underdeveloped state where they're supposed to grow faster. It is only additional, because of additional union government transfer, the money that goes from Tamil Nadu to Uttar Pradesh, Kerala to Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka to Uttar Pradesh, Telangana to Uttar Pradesh. Because of this, some infrastructure projects have been announced, even though they have not been completed properly. We all the newspapers, we saw how in today's day and age, someone had to in middle of the road there is a drain and a car goes into the drain. The drain was not even covered. That is how underdeveloped Uttar Pradesh today is. That is how bad the governance is. The minister's son have ran over farmers in Uttar Pradesh. That is the brazenness with which BJP operates there. So what are they saying? This is the same lie they said Gujarat model. 25 years after
Closing comments, please. Closing comments from Shekhar Iyer. Mr. Shekhar Iyer, you know, when you put the focus on development and it's a comparison of these double-engine states versus a state like Tamil Nadu, do you think that narrative works among the people of Tamil Nadu? Ultimately, Tamil Nadu is a state that's doing very well. And so when Stalin puts the focus on that, do you think it's advantage DMK?
Oh, well, you see, people know that you can't compare what the Tamil Nadu has achieved over the years and what is happening in Uttar Pradesh today. Because the way the Uttar Pradesh has progressed and way Tamil Nadu had the benefit of initial investment right after independence, that's a different story. But one thing, Akshita, we are not talking this time is the Vijay factor. For the last 2-3 weeks, the Vijay guns have fallen silent. It is back to two fronts that we are talking. What happens once Vijay again comes out of his current silence and relaunches his campaign? Because he has been caught in how to get his film cleared, Jananayakan, by the censors.
No, but he's gone silent. Shekhar Iyer, the reality is he's not out there, he's not campaigning. You know, how much can you talk about a Vijay factor when he's not visible on ground?
But I would expect that this scenario will undergo change. But let me make it one thing clear. There are serious anti-incumbency issues in Tamil Nadu for the DMK. But the DMK is counting on the various bonanzas it has announced for the government employees, for women, for farmers. All that has come in the last minute. So the whole idea, and that has been counted by Edapadi also equally, matching with even more announcements. It finally comes down to dole versus doles, or allowances versus allowances.
Okay. I don't have time. I don't have time for an intervention. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And my apologies, Tuhin, Dharanidharan, I've run out of time, but thank you all very much for joining me on this broadcast. I'm